Good day, friends. Mr. Salih here, and we are going to use a very cool book and a very cool piece of informational text to help us learn about how to see paragraphs and how to understand what a paragraph is in a book. Paragraphs are where the sentences come together. There's more than one sentence usually in a paragraph. And a paragraph tells us a lot of key details. It is a collection of sentences that usually carry a set of key details and help the book flow. It breaks up different points and different details throughout the book. So, good readers know that our cover page tells us a lot about the main topic. So I know that we're going to learn about Rocky Mountain National Park. I know this by the title, and I also know this by looking at the pictures. The picture shows a beautiful landscape of a waterfall, rocks. It looks like it could be a side of a mountain. I see a bunch of trees, and I know that this is a part of Rocky Mountain National Park. So as we read, I'm going to stop and highlight a few paragraphs, and we're going to think about how we find information within those paragraphs. Get it, got it? Get it, got it? Here we go. So the table of contents, of course, this tells us all of our different headings that we're going to use throughout the book. We're going to see about the best of the Rockies. We're going to hear about how old the Rockies are. And we're going to think about visiting and why the park is so popular. These are all different details within the text that all relate to the national park. Let's read our heading first. This is our heading. Good job, friends. The best of the Rockies. Rocky Mountain National Park has many high mountains. It has lakes and forests. The air is fresh and clean. The park is home to many wild animals. So this section here that's circled, friends, this is a paragraph. And the paragraph here is discussing the air and the wild animals in the park. So if I was trying to understand what the air is like and what the oxygen is like in Rocky Mountain National Park, I would look at this paragraph. This is the second paragraph in the book, in the page, the second paragraph on this page. This sentence here ended short and I started a new paragraph. This paragraph tells me about the air and the wild animals. The air here is fresh and clean. So if I was looking into the book to find how the air is in Rocky Mountain National Park, I would go to page 4, and then I would go to paragraph 2, and I would see that the air is fresh and clean. Let's read our heading, Young Mountains. Your turn. Great job. Rocky Mountain National Park is a small part of the Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains make up a big mountain range. So you see here, friends, at the end of the word range, the sentence did not continue. We started a new paragraph. I shifted from one detail and I'm starting to read about a new detail. I see that my words and my sentence did not finish and I started a new paragraph. This is how you know that we're working into a new paragraph when a sentence ends and there's still space. I didn't fill all of this with, the author didn't fill all of this with words. He knew that he wanted to make a new point about the age of the mountains, so he started a new paragraph. It was formed millions of years ago. It is still young for a mountain range. So in this paragraph, we learn that the mountains are millions of years old, but They're still considered very young because the Rocky Mountains have been around for hundreds of millions of years. But this part is a very young area of the park. The tops of the park's tallest mountains don't have any trees. It is too cold for trees to grow that high. Many flowers grow there in the summer though. So friends, let's think about why there's a space between these two sentences. Because it's a new paragraph. Many flowers grow there in the summer though. That's a new paragraph. I know that because this sentence about the trees was cut off and ended halfway through. The author wanted to make sure that his next point, his next key point, was separate, that it had impact. So he made a new paragraph. So our second paragraph on this page says flowers grow in the summer. He wanted to separate the trees and the flowers, so he made a new paragraph. From moose to marmots, this is our heading. This is our heading, friends. Many kinds of birds live in the park. Some birds fly on mountain winds. Some birds stay on the ground. In summer, one bird turns brown. In winter, it turns as white as snow. Different mammals live in different parts of the park. Some mammals live in its fields and forests. So what is this paragraph about? I see that my first paragraph has a word that's bolded. So I know that if it's a bolded word, it's important. It is a key word. So the word mammals means that we have warm blood. Humans are mammals. Cats, mooses, dogs, all of some of your favorite animals, friends, they're mammals. So that I know the first paragraph tells me that mammals live all over Rocky Mountain National Park. Some mammals live in its fields and its forests. So the first paragraph tells us that animals live all over the park. And then the second paragraph takes it one step deeper and tells us exactly where in the fields and the forests. I know that the park is full of fields and forests, but the first paragraph wasn't fully detailed. The second paragraph gave us more details of exactly where these mammals live. And if you want more details, friends, you can look at the captions. This caption is talking about the cat. This caption is talking about the moose. Some mammals live above trees and trees can grow. Oh, some mammals live above where trees can grow. So the marmot lives way up in the mountains. Same as the male bighorn sheep. Is there a paragraph on this page, friends? Say, no way, Jose. That's just one sentence. There is not a paragraph on this page. So my heading is plan a visit. People can drive this road from one side of the park to the other. The road climbs very high. So there's one paragraph on this page, friends. And if you want to plan a visit, this page can help you start to think about that. That's the key detail of this paragraph. Some people like to get away from their cars. They put their tents near lakes or climb the park's tallest mountain. So here, friends, I see a quick little blurb. The second paragraph tells us what people do at the park. So the second paragraph, that would be this one, not the first one. I know that because I already read the first one and I see that it ended early. I see that the sentence was cut off. So I started a new paragraph to go deeper into that key point. Autumn is a special time to visit the park. New paragraph. Leaves turn bright yellow. People also come to see and listen to elk. Well, I'll tell you one thing, friends. Mr. Salih has seen a lot of elk, and these things are so cool, so pretty, so awesome to see. I really hope you guys can see them one day. But this paragraph, friends, takes it one step deeper. The first paragraph tells us that autumn is a special time. So after we read that, we think, why is it a special time? What makes it so special? And the next paragraph gives us details to support why it's a special time in the park. This paragraph, the second paragraph, gives us details and tells us why it's a special time at the park. It's special because the leaves turn bright yellow and people show up to see and listen to the elk. The elk are out a lot in the fall, and they're really, really close to people and roads where you can see. So that makes the autumn a special time. So the second paragraph gave us details that supported the special and awesome time that is autumn in the park. Now here, friends, this is just a little history about the park. This is not a part of the text necessarily. We call this a blurb, an informational chunk of text. You see how it's different? It looks different from the actual words in the book. It's a little bit more detailed. I'll read it to you. The history of Rocky Mountain National Park. Native peoples once lived and traveled through the land that is now Rocky Mountain National Park. They spent summers camped in the beautiful valleys. Wow, friends, I see a new paragraph. You see how these words have a little bit of overlap? That tells the reader that we're entering a new paragraph. I see space here. I see space here. I see space here. Space there, space there, space there. Those are all the new paragraphs. Settlers and gold seekers began arriving in this area in the mid-1800s. Where settlers headed west in wagons, these steep mountains were hard to cross. In 1915, the president signed a law creating this national park. So, how many paragraphs are on this page, friends? Take about 10 seconds and think about it. And I'm going to draw it when we're all done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3. There are 3 paragraphs, friends. 3 paragraphs on this page. 3. Now we see 2 more paragraphs here to end it, friends. This is about how popular the park is, and I know that because I read the heading. A popular park. The first paragraph says, millions of people visit the park each year. The second paragraph says, during the summer, some parts of the park get crowded. So again, we took a detail one step further in the second paragraph. I know that millions of people visit each year. The second paragraph tells me that most of those visits happen during the summer. I see that in the text, and I can also look at the chart and see how all the popularity continues to grow in the park. So a lot of paragraphs can give us a lot of good information, friends, and we have to know where to find it. Still, in this park, there are always ways to escape nature. Is there a paragraph on this page, friends? Just one. And we have our glossary at the end. Think about some other words that we just learned. Take a minute to read through the new words: autumn, crowded, mammals, national park, range, and wild. All right, friends. Thank you for listening. Take your quiz, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.